What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast, the one that you downloaded, the one that you meant to download. If you meant to download a different podcast about Top Chef but got this one,
Lucky you.
Yes, and
Wow, we both
just
said that at the same time.
give us a chance.
We've got the same brain, Brian.
We have the same brain. Look, guys, we got season 2. We finished season 1. Can you believe it? I can believe it. We did it. But before we get started, I got a letter. I got a certified letter from Tom the other day, and it said,
What?
"Do not open until you are in front of the 2 other best friends, and then read it on the pod." So
Pretty sure
we
a
open it really
certified
quick.
letter costs like $24 to send.
I mean,
I'm
he's
opening it
rolling
now.
cheese.
Yeah, that's actually
All right.
a
It's
pretty
one of the ones
big.
you have to, like,
That's a big
you have to, like,
letter.
you have to tear the sides.
So
Yes.
people who can't see this because it's a podcast. Have you ever seen one of those sweepstakes checks that they give you? That's the
Yeah.
size of this letter he's opening right now.
Well, the person that delivered it did have a bunch of balloons, and I thought that I had won the supermarket sweep, is what it's called. But
Mhm.
but they said that that the guy who did that was dead, and I
Yeah.
was like, Vince McMahon is dead, and they said no, it's the other guy. I don't know. Long story short, I didn't win $1 million, and I'm still doing a podcast about Top Chef with my 2 best friends and my 2
Lucky
amigos. So,
you.
You.
lucky me. Okay, so I've opened the letter, and I'm going to read it now, okay? It says, "To whom it may concern." It's weird he knows our names. I don't know why he would say that.
What?
Please read this on the podcast, okay?
Good.
Well, boys, you did it. Season 1 is under your belt. 11 and a half episodes because you cheaped and combined 2, okay?
All right.
Too busy to do a full episode? I get it. You guys have a lot going on. That was sarcastic.
Okay.
I'd say that I'm proud of you, but I'm not. Oh, that's mean.
Wow.
You only managed to secure 1 guest, and though it was very cool that you got Harold on as a guest, I personally really wanted to hear from Cynthia or Leanne.
Okay.
He could have helped us with that if
He could have
really
sent
wanted it.
one email asking for that.
Okay, so there's more. There were some funny parts, though. Hickama Made Me Sickama was very funny.
Fucking
Mhm.
crushed. I crushed.
I was laughing all day after that one. I even tried to say it to Padma, but she didn't laugh. Maybe it was the delivery. I tried it with an accent.
Uh-oh.
Nope, mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably wasn't the joke. We know the joke is solid, so it probably was maybe.
Well, Tom knows that I'm black, so he probably did like a black accent, and that's never funny
Mm,
when a white person does it.
no.
It's not funny, but the idea of it's very funny. Okay,
So
just
all our listeners
talking
at
about it.
home, and the watchers, which also, if you're watching, please let us know how you did that.
Yeah.
Just imagine Tom saying the Hickama Made Me Sickama in an accent of someone who is black to Padma.
Whatever that sounds like in your head to you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do it here. Okay,
Yeah.
so the letter goes on. You guys, this is kind of a weird segue. You guys remember Ken? What a psycho, right? Nah, he's cool. He had great weed. Okay.
What?
Okay.
Okay,
That makes
that's kind of
Interesting.
brushing away a lot of bad behavior.
Furthermore, the hosting period. That's a weird sentence. What's up with changing hosts every week? Especially since both hosts are bad. Oh gosh,
Oh,
that's weird.
wow. That's pretty mean.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm taken aback.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, both.
Yeah.
I mean,
were bad.
I know that I was bad.
Yeah, I was. I've gotten people writing reviews of how great the hosting was. They asked me if I could just do my own pod chef with Reeves.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know, but that's mean. I didn't know about that. That makes me feel bad.
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up until I just heard Tom Colicchio say both hosts were bad.
I mean,
Okay.
bad is a weird way to describe it. I would say that they're different, and you guys have different attributes. Like one is like fast and organized.
God, I
and,
thought you were going to say
together.
fat.
No.
All right, what's the other one then? One's fast and organized, and the other one is
is more organic and organic.
right. Let's see. All right. Furthermore, the hostings. Let's go with Reeves as the host for this next season.
What?
Maybe he can do a decent job.
Wait, for the whole season?
The entire season?
I mean, it says for this next season.
Oh, man.
This is a bad idea. This is I'm not
99.
hosting.
Look, 99% of hosting is wanting to actually do it.
Yes, and I do not want to do it. I just want to do my funny quips in a
Yeah.
very slow cadence. That's what
Well,
I'm
we can.
good
Let's try it, and then maybe Tom will let us know.
Oh, God.
Okay, there's still a little more here.
It's a
There's
long
more?
letter.
It
Yeah.
says, "Remember my 3 rules, and I'm adding a 4th rule for this season. No more spooky talk. I was up for days after the whole octopus talk."
Oh,
Okay, so no more spooky talk. Okay. What were the other 3 rules?
Don't say Mott Colicchio.
Yep. Don't make up food terms.
Don't make
right?
up food, and don't fall in love.
That's it. And now don't be spooky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. In conclusion, Reeves debone, Jamal add foam, Brian send home, Tom out.
Whoa.
Wait, that means he absolutely listened to all of the interview, because that's not like in the beginning. That's like a good chunk
Right in the middle.
Yeah. That's right in the middle. So that's
So he listened to the whole thing, or he jumped around.
or he jumped around and just caught that and was like, I like this segment.
Well, so that's the letter, and then it now it says this letter will self-destruct, and but then it says, haha, no it won't. I can be funny too. Okay.
Okay.
That's
well,
actually
that's
not that funny. That's kind of scary because everyone's in quarantine right now. So you're like, where could you put the letter if it did self-destruct?
I mean, I just put it back on my desk, so.
Oh, okay.
So I guess Reeves is the host now.
good.
Yeah, I mean, there's no fighting with Tommy C. So
Oh,
Should we start over again, Reeves? Do you want to
yeah, let's do this off in the beginning so that Reeves can get the full hosting experience.
Yeah, let's. Jesus. Yeah, just give me a second, okay? Can you just give me
This give Reeves a second. This
just-
is the spot for the producer that we now have on board. This is the spot where we want to play that intro music again and just give Reeves like a little
just
spot.
give me a second. I just gotta think.
And Reeves is doing squats. Really,
Really
deeper than they should be. I didn't think someone could squat that deep. It can't be good for his anus.
I don't really know many people who make those sounds when they squat too.
They weren't coming from his mouth. He was nowhere near the microphone.
Yeah, that was not from his mouth. That's for sure.
All right, let's do this thing. Give me a
Here we go.
countdown.
All right, we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, listeners, welcome to Slots Fluff, season
Oh, no.
9. It's your host. My name is Meeves Rackelveen, and I've got.
And
my
he said his
friends
last name, but he's weird.
I got my best friends here. Mikasa, Sukasa. You
You
guys
got
say
it,
your
man.
names.
You got it.
Say your names.
My name is Brian. Oh wait, is it supposed to be funny? Whatever, it's Brian.
And my name's Jamal.
Great, we got that out of the way. All right, what did I have for dinner last night? I ate peanut butter. What did you guys have?
I'll talk about what I had, and this Brian, I really want you to listen because this is proof positive of what kind of a guy I am, what kind of a friend I am. Because friends don't, when they see someone else struggling, they don't leave them out there, don't throw them a life raft. I've taken note that you're eating frozen pizzas, oven baked pizzas a lot. So last night I present to you fresh handmade pizza
How dare you?
with dough that I rolled out and let
How dare
proof
you.
for 3 hours. And
3 hours of proving.
freshly shaved Parmesan, not from a bag that's already shredded, freshly shaved.
You bought a block of
Parmesan.
parm and shaved that bad
Shaved
boy?
it and then sprinkled on some pepperonis, and I baked it, and it was perfection. But I did it for you, Brian. I said, I don't want Brian to start season 2, episode 1, feeling like he's still in a rut. I want him to know that I had a pizza last night, and it's okay if you did too. So I did this for you because of our friendship. It means so much to me.
Well,
So,
I didn't have pizza.
you motherfucker.
So my chef I present to you last night, my sketch team shot a sketch inside of a bodega, and I got bodega chicken over rice from there. And on my way home, I was like, you know what would be good with this? French fries from McDonald's. So I went to McDonald's and got French fries. And I was in the drive-thru, and I also wanted an apple pie, and they didn't have apple pies. So I said, what do you got? And she said, we have cherry with cream. And I said, is it any good? And she said, I've never had it. And I said, give me one.
Cherry with cream, like a cherry pie with cream?
Yeah, like one side was a cherry and one side was a cream. And it was pretty good.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never heard of this either. I thought they were known for their apple pies.
Why can't I hear you?
Yeah, why you got so quiet?
What?
You're still very quiet.
What are you talking about? Nothing's changed.
Whoa,
There it is. It just came
there
back.
you are.
I haven't touched anything.
That was really weird.
Something happened.
It's
Uh-oh.
and I know Tom told us the new rule was to not make things spooky, but I do wonder if there's some kind of paranormal thing going on that's trying to slow down or ruin the podcast.
I mean, possibly. I have been watching a lot of scary movies as of late. So maybe I've invited some of that energy in.
That might be it.
Yeah, you probably invited it.
Okay, so that's the end of that segment.
Okay.
So now jumping into the episode. So it's season 2, baby, and they're all in LA. We got new contestants. We got a new place. It's in LA, and they're all there. Let's say the names of the people that are now chefs.
So there, okay. There's a bunch of names. Let's I'm gonna say them all as fast as I
It's
can.
stressing me out so much.
This will be funny. I'm gonna say them all as fast as I can. This is how we do things here on Pod Chef.
Ugh.
Josie, Betty, Elon, Marcel, Ella, Sam, Mike, Cliff, Frank, Marissa, Suja, Carlos, Mia, Otto, Emily. Those are your chefs for this season.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that it's 15 chefs this time. I know you're probably asking yourself, well, wait a minute, didn't they have 15 chefs last time? And the answer is no, they had 12. So there's 3 more people this season than the first season. So think about how much harder this season is. There's 3 more chefs, okay?
And there's something else that makes this season. Oh God, I'm just doing hosting. I'm sorry, Reeves.
Yeah, and I was gonna say exactly what you were gonna say. I think what great minds think alike. And there's something else that makes this season different from the season that we just watched, and that is it is taking place in LA. Did I already say?
That is what he's going to say.
You already said that.
Oh, I already. Oh God! Can I?
Okay,
You guys just give me another couple of seconds just to collect my thoughts.
Okay.
So this time there's 2 contestants in their 40s, Otto and Betty. Everyone else is pretty young in this season.
Yep. I'm back. I got a comment on Otto. Otto looks like someone that could be a professor at Hogwarts.
I was gonna say the Otto is my vampire pick.
That's pretty close. Are we already getting spooky again?
Well, rules are meant to be broken, and that's what I say when I went to jail.
Yeah, why did you go to jail again?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Because I ate the Mona Lisa. You guys know this.
Oh, yeah.
That was canon. I went to France and I ate the Mona Lisa.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All of it.
It was crazy how you did that in the Louvre.
I went to the Louvre.
Yeah.
I ate the Mona Lisa.
You got past the very stringent security line and guards that guard it, and you took it off the wall and you took a big chomp out of it, and they said, not in my city.
And then I went to French jail You know what they serve you for dinner in French jail?
Frogwa.
Fucking punch in the face.
Is that a drink?
Okay.
Is that a drink?
Is that a drink?
Yeah, it's a drink.
Oh.
That sounds delicious. Okay, but for real though, why is this season different? It's because Padma is there. We got a new host.
Oh, we got her. We got her, folks. She's here. Padma's here, and Katie Lee Joel is gone, and we'd never hear from her again.
Yeah, she's in some deprogrammed in some studio. They just powered her down and pushed her into the corner somewhere, and they got Padma in there, who's just like so great because she. I mean, maybe Katie Lee also liked what she was doing, even though she didn't show it in any way. But Padma definitely likes food, liked cooking, is happy to be there, seems enthusiastic and engaged. All great things, and plus she's really cool. So it all.
And if you miss Katie Lee Joel and you want to talk to her again, just hold up your phone and say, "Hey Siri." So this episode is called "To the Fire."
And it's called that because of the fires in California?
Yeah, it's called Into the Fire because it's in California. And every time they show a background shot of B-roll, it's just rolling hills on fire.
So what happened next?
Let's get to know some of the personalities that have been coming up here. You know, we've just went over the names, so now they're meeting everyone. You know, when you meet people, the first impression. What do they always say about the first impression? Is super important, right?
Oh, wait, were you asking me, or
yeah, I was asking.
You already answered it.
I answered it kind of, but go ahead.
First impression. It's super important. You're saying the thing you have to do when you make a first impression.
Yep.
Oh, I got it. Don't do an Asian accent.
That is actually one of the rules. When you first meet someone, do not do an Asian accent, even if you can speak Cantonese, Japanese, Vietnamese. Just don't do it.
Brian, is that something that someone told you specifically?
Reeves.
That's so.
Hold on, Brian. Reeves. Can I talk to you over here for a second?
Yeah. What's going on?
Reeves, I was trying to make Brian feel better about the fact that he's been told on multiple occasions not to do an Asian accent when he meets people because it's super offensive, and he just doesn't understand that.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't know if he knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he does because he's from a place where horses meet you at the beach. So I don't.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean he's from a place called Assateague. So.
Okay. All right.
So.
And that's why I can't do Asian accents when I meet people.
Great. Good.
Cool.
Glad we all agree.
Wait, was my mic working just then?
Yeah.
Yep. We all got it.
Some other things you might not want to say might sound like Marcel when he made his first impression. Why don't we take a listen?
Hey, Mike. Cliff. Nice to meet you, dude.
Did you bring some nice knives?
Whatever I had.
You want to see mine?
The first person that I meet is this guy, Marcel. He wants to show me his knives. And I want to smack him. I guess we'll be showing each other a cell block H? Yeah, something like that.
So, I've never asked man or woman if they'd ever like to see my knives, but I do have a nice knife set.
You do. And actually, maybe that is what you should incorporate into your normal greetings. I do it all the time. I think it's a normal thing that a lot of people do, on first dates. They say, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name is, whatever, Philanthropy or something." And then you say, "Would you like to see my knife collection? I've got it here. I brought it on the date."
And then you roll it out. You have the little thing you put on the table, and you roll it out like Dexter, and you got all the knives just there.
Here are my knives.
It is important that you do ask first, though. As much as we want to laugh about Marcel, he does ask Elan if he wants to see his knives, which is good because you can't just pull your knife out on somebody. That's one, scary, and two, inappropriate.
Yes, and we're at a place now where we ask first before we bring out our knives and just put it right in someone's face and say, "This is my knife. Do you like it?" No,
Yeah.
you say, "Hey, would you like to see my knives?" And then you don't really listen to what the response is, and you immediately
Yeah.
unroll your knife bag, and they can see your 72 knives.
Yeah, and if your knives are like rusty, you don't wash your knife in front of people either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No.
don't. You wait till people leave or you're by yourself to wash a knife.
And if you're in the
Yeah.
gym, just pop a towel over your knife bag. All right. You're gonna get a lot of older men that are just gonna
Always older men.
Always older men.
their
They
knives
love
will be
sharing their
everywhere.
knives.
They're asking you questions about how deep your squat is or whatever, and they got their knives sitting out there. Whereas, a guy that's in his like 20s or 30s, he's got a towel over his knife, so I don't have to look
Yeah.
at his knives.
You know what I hate? Sometimes you're at the gym in the locker room and someone's running with a knife.
Hmm.
Well, I think, so maybe what you mean is like properly secure your knife, because
Yeah,
like if you're wearing
properly
like jogging
secure.
shorts, like basketball shorts, I can see your knife through
Your
them.
knife is fucking going
Yes.
all over the place. I'm worried about it cutting me.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't. The last thing I want is some other dude's knife touching me.
No, that's gross, right? I mean, well, not gross, but like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like maybe some people it's fine, but it's like because consent, I think, is what we want it.
If
with
that's your
knives.
thing, cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That's fine. And I just another thing I want to point out at another point a little bit later, they're all partying and drinking, and Marcel has a knife and he's opening a beer bottle with a knife, which seems like a party trick that he's showing everyone, but people do not seem interested in it.
Yeah.
Marcel from the beginning, like, so we can like use season 1 as like an archetype for like this show. Like Marcel is the Steven. Like
Mhm.
that's like pretty
Clearly.
like I think we're gonna get that. We get I can't tell if the Miguel for this season is either Michael or Josie, and I almost want to say that it's Josie, but I think it's Michael.
I almost want to say it's both of them. Like Miguel's been split in two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael is probably me. That's how I would show up on Top Chef. He's in flip-flops and shorts. The dude looks great. He's got the biggest like lip of tobacco in.
He's dipping.
He seems very cool. His like dream is to own a sports bar. He said that his wife put her panties in his bag when he's going through, which
Yeah.
he put that in there himself.
He absolutely did that. It was a plant. He reminds me of the type of guy that you show up like at the first day of like a class in college, and he rolls in like 10 or 15 minutes late, and you spend the entire time wondering, how did this guy get into college? What? How? Yeah. But he probably is a good cook, I guess. So there he is.
He might be a good cook. We've got Betty, who's an actor in LA, who I guess is
which is fancy.
Candace?
Which is a fancy term for chef,
unemployed
line cook in LA.
Is Betty the pastry chef?
No, that was
that's Marissa.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of Marissa, can we get to Marissa for a second? Marissa from San Francisco is a pastry chef, which is wild that she's here on this show, because we know that like most of the chefs on Top Chef are not pastry chefs.
They are
Can't
not,
do pastry.
and they can't do it. They don't like it, and it's impossible to them.
But not only does Marissa has two things to her advantage here. She's a pastry chef, and she has something else that she's going to use to her advantage. And this is where a clip starts.
Held the position of executive pastry chef in two of San Francisco's top restaurants.
Do I use my sexuality to my advantage? Damn right. I use everything to my advantage that I can use to my advantage.
This is going to be quite an adventure.
It really is.
We can be sisters.
My name is...
So in a way, it's kind of unfair for us to say that they shouldn't have their knives out when maybe that's limiting for some of the other contestants.
What?
Yeah. So, how do you use your sexuality in a cooking competition to get an edge? Like, I don't understand that.
Well, if
How does that
it's
work?
season 1, episode 2, you use it because you have to be sexy.
That's
That's part of
true.
the
If it is,
elimination.
it seems like it's just hyper specific to a challenge and not
Yeah.
something that would see you through the entire competition.
I
Although
mean,
Harold is known as being kind of a sexy guy on the show, apparently,
and he
Mhm.
won, so maybe
and
it
he
works.
won.
But I
So
mean,
maybe
like,
it's like passive.
there has to be something to it because, like, I for one have like a couple of weeks ago, I had this like big plate. I was cooking. It was the rare time that I was cooking. I had this big plate of Brussels sprouts, and they weren't cooked, and they were just like sitting in there, and I wanted to make them taste good, but I couldn't get them to do it. So what I did is I gave them the fuck me eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
To the Brussels sprouts?
To the Brussels sprouts.
And did it work?
No, they were very yucky, but
Huh.
if someone sexy had done it, then maybe it would have worked.
I think that is how you can, like, if you don't want to spice your food yourself, if you're unsure, if you just throw some sexiness at it, it will spice itself up.
Sexiness is a spice.
Okay. I
Cooking 101.
Cooking 101, try and spice up your food with little sexiness. So I did try that. I mean, maybe not sexiness, specifically, but one time I was cooking some chicken and it just didn't seem like it was going to cook through. So I gave it some very sweet kisses all over, just some very nice, tasteful kisses. And, I got very sick later, but the chicken, well, I burned the chicken.
They say that
out.
love makes you sick. You can get love sick. So it sounds like you might have gotten love sick. And
That might have
That's
been
true. That's
and
true.
the symptoms of love sickness are violent diarrhea and vomiting. Is that what you had?
Yes, both of those same time.
Yeah, it seems like you had love
You were lovesick. You were
That's
lovesick.
it. It was lovesick.
You've always been a romantic, though, in and out of the kitchen. So
That's true. That is true. I'm a real romantic. I like to give as a gift raw chicken to people. Because who knows? Anyway, so they're doing a quick fire, and
Yes.
the challenge is they got to do it's a flambe. Is that what it is?
flambe.
Flambe, which means you usually take like an alcohol that has like a certain high alcohol content. I think
Yeah.
you do it a lot with like a
White wine, not red wine. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, wine in general is a weird one to use. Like a brandy, I feel like usually it's a
Yeah.
pretty good. That's the one that I see a lot in like recipes,
Yeah.
and you like burn it off and stuff like that. Pretty simple, pretty standard. Lots of chefs do it, but some chefs had never done it, and so they used red wine instead. Ella, big mistake.
Yeah.
Use red wine.
Huge mistake. Wait, hold on.
Huge
What's the line from Pretty Woman? Big mistake. Huge.
Yes.
And then she turns around and leaves and comes back.
Yeah, and she was
that's-
like, I forgot my bags.
Yeah, I forgot my bags.
And then she spends
comes
a bunch of
back.
money there anyway, so the store
Yeah.
does fine.
Yeah,
She really showed them.
so she showed them. Yeah, you won't get away with your classist attitude towards me.
Mhm.
So they have to make a freaking flambe, and our best friend Harold is there, and he's a guest
Yes.
judge.
He's there, and he barely has his shirt buttoned at all.
Because he's too sexy. He's using his sexiness to his advantage.
There it is. He's using his sexiness. And he also is judging people pretty harshly, which I felt when we did our interview that I refused to listen back to because it makes me uncomfortable because I realized I froze, which I mean, I never really do. I've never done it my entire life, so I don't know why it happened then. So he's doing that to them so I can relate to the contestants.
He's very casual. He's very casual. Yet he'll rip Reeves apart. Doesn't know what mushrooms
he
are.
will shred you.
My little
And
butt
then
up.
something else about this that I thought was very, very funny during this quick fire is when Padma and Harold are trying the food, it's cut so fast that they're just like shoving fucking food
Yeah.
in their face. Like when you watch it, they're just like, what's this? And it's like cuts to the next one. Big
Yeah.
thing of food in their face. Big thing of food in their face. And it was so fun to watch for me.
But I think
Like-
because Padma and Tom, they both this season started them. Tom like told her like, look, don't eat all the food, like chew it and then spit it out.
Mhm.
Like we'll chew it, get the shot, spit it out. So that's what they're doing. Like they're just taking all those B-rolls of them chewing food right before they spit it out and being like, yeah, this is good. This is good footage to put in. String it
That
together as a
sucks.
montage.
Swallowing is my second favorite part of eating.
Okay.
What's your first?
The first is the taste, and the second is the swallowing, the third is the pooping.
Okay.
And
all of this.
that's it. That's all.
Yeah,
of it.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
the
that's-
whole- that's it.
So they do a flambe, and there's some that they like. He likes Sam. Sam looks insane. In his intro, Sam has like a shirt that says like "Mi Vida Loca" on it. He has like Fallout Boy hat and like pointy sideburns. He has no less than 5 bracelets on, and he wins. He gets immunity. Harold says that his dish was out of control. Harold also said that Emily's dish was like eating at the Dieterle restaurant, and residence. And it's not nice to say how people look, but Emily looks like a big baby, like an adult baby, which I guess we all kind of look like adult babies, but like she has like a baby face that just like became a person. And then Betty tells Harold that she loves him. Harold just like immediately just like shuts down. It's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't talk about my personal life on this show ever.
But Sam wins, and guess what? Sam wins. Sam wins immunity. Padma says it.
Yeah,
She says immunity.
The
She's
word
not
immunity.
great.
She
There
didn't
it
say
is.
you are not able to be eliminated tomorrow, or you are the only one who's going to be able to escape elimination tomorrow. She said immunity.
And like the relief that you could like hear from like, you know, both the contestants and the crew, who even though they're
Yeah.
not on camera, like you could just feel that like she
Yeah.
like she says it with like such passion and like kind of
Yeah.
also looks directly into the camera when she says
Yeah.
it. And it's just like everyone's like, oh yes.
And then
Yeah.
they cut around the room when she says it, and there's like people clapping, but the audio's like muted, and like people are
Mhm.
clapping. Tom's like giving a big wink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, did you guys see that movie where the guy invented lying? Yeah, that movie.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais. Called
It's
The
Ricky
Invention of
Gervais, and
Lying.
he's the first person that ever lies. It was kind of like that moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was it called The Art of Lying?
It's called The Invention of Lying.
Okay, so it's literally just called. So that's one of those things where the movie, like the plot line to the movie is the title.
Yep. Well, he's British, so
Yeah, David Brent.
they kind of go right for it.
So then they have a big party at home, and Reese mentioned that earlier. Marcel opens a bottle with a knife, and
Yeah.
Mike gets very, very drunk. They keep
Mike
showing him like drinking more beers.
gets drunk. He has
Mike's Miguel.
classic. He is Miguel. I feel like that's. I mean, maybe there's a little bit in Josie that's Miguel, but it's all in on Mike. And you know, he's got the classic drunk man look where it's like a shirt that seems to have a permanent stain, just a water stain on it,
Yeah,
because who knows what happened to him. And he
but
also
that
looks
fits
like
him.
it does. You know what? It's on game for him, and it's like within his character. And it also feels like at some point he like fell asleep on like a pool table.
Which also makes sense.
Mhm.
It's he's like the Steve Bannon of chefs. I expect him to have like a stain on his shirt and like messy hair and be kind of unwashed looking.
That's
That-
how I look, so that's okay. Most of the time. A lot of my shirts have stains. We're in quarantine. I don't give a shit. My wife cares though. Okay, so
We move on to the elimination challenge, and they split everyone up into 2 teams. And the challenge is that they're going to create a dish using 5 mystery ingredients. And mystery part is not spooky; it's normal, so don't get scared.
Yeah, so stop freaking out, Tom.
Yes.
Tom, calm down. It's like the fun kind of mystery.
So, what do you guys think about this as the first challenge for season 2? I mean, I kind of feel like they've already gone through a season, and this is their best they had for the opening up of season 2 as a challenge.
I mean, I thought it was fun. I thought this was a fun challenge. I thought that like um was Chopped out at this point because they're doing a Chopped.
Yeah, and they, now I think about it, a lot of what they do is a Chopped, like the quick fires essentially are a Chopped challenge most of the time. It's a good. I think Chopped probably around this time, if not like a little bit later.
Okay.
But I like this, and they do this kind of continuously in other seasons, where like the first episode just kind of has like, I wouldn't call it like a basic cooking skill, but a cooking skill that someone that is going to be a top chef should know, is like part of like either the quick fire or like the elimination challenge. So it kind of weeds people out. And that's why I like this. And I'm pretty sure Tom was at the root of that.
See here, pastry chef with the sharp knife.
That's always a dangerous thing.
Maybe when this is all over, chef, you can give me a little knife lesson.
Keep your fingers out of the way.
So, what you heard Tom there just say, and we were talking about knives earlier. She asked for a knife lesson, is being very flirty, and Tom said, "Just keep your fingers out of the way," which I can't tell if that's his style of using his knife, or if that's what he prefers. What do you guys prefer?
Well, I think that's just that's his whole lesson, because he's got that book that he self-published on, using your knife is what he calls it, and it shows him kind of in the locker room with his up on
Tom Colicchio
knife.
Colin's Cold Hard Steel.
Yes, and it's only one page, and it says just keep your finger out of the way, and the next page is just him like it's like a wink kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I think that's just all he does. Like when he teaches people, he just says like, don't just keep your feet and your feet, your fingers, your nose, keep that all out of the way. Don't chop it up. That's it.
That's a good advice from Tommy Boy.
Was she flirting when she said, "Can you give me some like knife lessons?"
That's what I just said.
No, I know, but that's why I'm asking. Like,
I think so.
If we're continuing this, like, let's say, guys, knife to penis thing we've been doing this whole time, is did she like?
Hold up, that's what we were doing.
Oh no, did I ruin it?
Well, now I'm caught up.
Okay, and keep it. Was she flirting? So I think this is my psychological analysis. I don't think she was like intentionally flirting with him. I think it was like a nervous thing of he came up while she was in a weird position where she just cut herself. And so to kind of like deflect from the fact that she was embarrassed that had happened, she kind of just threw out, "Oh, you want to teach me?" or whatever, which is like kind of like a half flirt, but more just like trying to make light of it, when she actually was embarrassed and she's a pastry chef and maybe she shouldn't actually be doing what she's doing.
Yeah, she should have a spoon.
She needs a spoon and a rolling pin.
Orange Team box is snails, American cheese, potatoes, artichokes, and bar peanuts. And that's whatever. Elia, who has a French accent but is born in Mexico, I think is what she says, will not stop ripping American cheese. And I'm the least patriotic person in the entire world. But the more she did it, the more like patriotic I got as it was going on.
The more angry you got that she kept ripping. She's like, "This shouldn't even be considered a food. Get it out of here."
I don't love American cheese. I don't love America. But to have someone who's foreign come at both of those things, I was ready to fight for my country.
Hey, Brian, if you don't love America, you can leave.
They don't want me anywhere because I'm from America.
Yeah,
I can't pass as any other thing because I'm big, fat, and white. I am American.
Give me my American cheese. I feel like you can do, American cheese, probably the grossest of all the cheese. It's very gelatinous. But, I occasionally, when I'm very hungry and there's nothing in the fridge, I will just eat plain slices of American cheese.
I can't do that anymore. I did that as a kid and I could get away with it. But like once I got like 15, I like it just wreaked havoc on my stomach. So I was like, well, can't do this anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, puberty does that to you.
No more raw cheese. Cheese product.
I feel like you can, and this is, I think, what she did is just like, you can just like reduce it down and use it like within a sauce or as like some kind of sauce. You can do a lot with it. So I don't know why she was complaining so much. No one else seemed to care that much about it.
Yeah.
Well, she's French, so
Yeah, they do cheese there. They don't do.
I mean, that whole place smells like cheese. Oh, take that, France.
Yikes!
Take that, France.
The black team's box.
I won't apologize. So.
The black team's box had frog legs, chicken livers, eggplant, cornflakes, and peanut butter. And I don't. We clipped it, but I don't know if we need to play it. A funny thing about this box is when they're talking to Cliff, and Cliff is complaining about the cornflakes, and he says that he eats cornflakes in a bowl, or he uses it to line his cat box with.
Sir, what's going on? Right now, I'm actually breading the chicken livers, little panko and the cornflake that we got.
Now, are cornflakes something you've worked with before?
Normally, it's for breakfast, or I'll line the cat bowl with it. That's always fun.
Have you guys ever lined your cat bowl or box?
He said bowl.
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Okay, so this is my question: was have you guys ever lined your cat bowl with frost with a what is it? Flakes? What is it?
Cornflakes. What is a cat bowl?
It's
A
like
cat bowl. That's what they eat out of.
But you would line that? Why would you line what's? I think he means cat box, or at least cat bin, the shit box where a cat takes a dump.
Maybe he does. I think he does, because the cornflakes would stick to some poopies.
Is that a thing people do?
Maybe poor people. Maybe I don't know.
Oh gosh, am I punching down?
Probably, fucking jerk. Maybe
I grew up poor, but I didn't have a cat, so
maybe
I don't
people
know.
can't afford these fancy clumping powders and stuff.
It probably is cheaper just to use cornflakes.
So they go and get boxes of cornflakes, and it's like 99 cents for cat litter.
Yeah, and you get that knockoff brand. Like
you get the knockoff.
You're bunch of those.
Yeah. As long as you're not doing Kellogg's, you're just doing store brand. That's like 50 cents a box.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't
You know how
make any
expensive
sense
cat
to me.
litter is, man. Non-dusty, clumping cat litter. You know how expensive that stuff is.
I don't.
Yeah, neither do I. Never had a cat.
I'm a dog person.
I got a doggy too, a French chef doggy. Well, so that's the end of that. Anyway, I just really quickly want to talk about what Marcel is wearing. And Marcel is taking like a page out of my fashion notebook of like the early to mid 2000s, which is wearing clothes that is 3 to 4 sizes too big for your body, as a way to show everyone, hey, I hope to one day be this big, to be a big boy and be able to fill it out. So that was a nice reminder of a snapshot of my life around that time. It's cool that other people were doing the same thing that I was doing and wearing clothes that did not fit correctly.
And
I can't really. My clothes were too small.
It's good to know Marcel is 26 during the show.
26 years old.
Yeah.
Old enough.
God, you guys remember 26?
Yeah, I do.
No, not at all. Can't remember it.
So they make some food and it looks good or bad. I don't know. I don't really eat snails.
I have never had escargot.
I have had it, but I don't get it.
The other day I was leaving to take trash out before trash day, and I stepped outside, and in the dark, because I didn't have a light, now I have a brand new bug light, one of those yellow lights so I can see. I stepped outside and I just saw the shadow of what looked like a snail, and I wasn't sure. And then I took my phone out and put it down, and sure enough, a snail was sitting right there where my foot would have gone. I would have just smashed it. But because I was watching where I was walking, that snail lived. Well, I'm not sure if it lived because it was gone by the time I came back, so I don't know if a bug or something came and got it. But
how big was this snail that it created?
Oh, it was big. Oh, it was big. It was like size of like my ring finger. Like, it was a big old. Oh yeah, it was a big old guy.
That's a big snail.
But then I just saw a little juice trail as it when I came back from taking the trash out. I was like, man, this guy booked it as soon as I left.
What did you just call it?
Juice trail?
You know that there is a term that is for that it directly is from that.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it's got connotations, but it comes from that. It's called a snail trail. People say it for other
Why would
reasons.
they say that? Why would they say that? It's juicy. It's like this thing's left sweat behind it. Should we call it sweat trail or juice trail? Shouldn't call it snail trail. There's not a trail of snails behind it.
It's very gross
That-
to me
that's-
because of what snail trail means.
What does snail trail mean?
Yeah,
I've
I don't
never
know what
heard
it means
this.
either, Brian. You need to educate both Jamal and I.
I
and the
can't say it.
audience.
I can't say it. Audience, just Urban Dictionary snail trail.
Don't do it. Wait for us to explain it.
I'm not going to explain it
Why can't you tell us what it is? You just were about
because
to go crazy
I
on
will
me.
get in trouble. It
By
is gross
who?
by women across the world.
Okay, I got us a nice middle ground solution. All our audiences, members, all 9 of you, if you guys can look up in Urban Dictionary what that means, and then go ahead and write a review and put it in your review of our podcast, what snail trail means. That would help us because believe you me, audience, we are reading those reviews.
Yeah. Also, it means you got this far into the episode, so we know you listened.
Yeah, we know you listened.
Okay, well, I've never heard of snail trail before. Okay.
Everyone Google it, educate yourself. Is it because I'm white trash? Is that why I know what that?
I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah, probably.
I'm complete garbage. I understand. I know where I come from.
I wouldn't say you're garbage. That's mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of harsh.
I'm getting better. So we go to the elimination judges table, and there are 4 people who are on the top, and those 4 people are Elia. I was saying Ella earlier. I apologize. Ilan, Betty, and Mia. And Mia is there because she made frog legs, and she has a funny backstory with frog legs. And there's a clip.
Mia. I grew up hunting frogs as a little girl, so that was like score. This is just like grandma's house on Sundays.
Yeah, I think
My grandma did not let me hunt frogs, but I was allowed to hunt turtles. But only turtles that knew karate, knew martial arts. Because
Okay. Well,
Wait, what?
and who was your grandma again? I
Yeah.
think I know.
she was a famous martial arts master who got a scar on her face.
Okay, and he's talking about the freaking shredder.
We used to have turtle stew, but she'd make me, my sister, and my 2 cousins wear like color coding so we knew whose plate was whose. I was blue, some kind of a leader type. My sister was red because she's kind of like rock and roll. And my 2 cousins, well, kind of rebellious and rock and roll. That is,
No, rock and roll's right. Maybe a little country too.
Raphael is absolutely rebellious.
Yeah,
So-
country,
He's
and then
just rude.
He's what?
He's mean. That's his thing. Is that he's a dick.
Yeah, but he's rock and roll.
yeah,
I
I mean,
never
and Jamal is
Raphael
talking
to be
about
rock and
his
roll.
family and his family.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
my family is rude and rock and roll.
and there was
So-
that orange plate that was really into
Yeah.
fine dining, right?
Yep.
Yep.
The nicer things in life, and then just the purple plate, which always had like some kind of stupid gadget on it.
Mhm.
Got in the way of the food, really. So
So it's all the same for the turtles except for the red one. Okay,
Yep.
never mind.
And probably orange one. Yeah.
Reeves, you told us that you are from a fucking country place that hunted frogs.
I've not necessarily
cut back.
cut backwards. It didn't. So when we were going through, we do a lot of prep for this show, you guys. We talk for hours and hours, and I know you guys can tell because it seems very rehearsed. Everything is just airtight and perfect and professional. But I was explaining to everyone when we were talking about clips we want to do that the Mia saying that she used to chase frogs my family lives. It's a common thing in Georgia. People they'll go after frogs and catch them and then eat their legs. And that's the end of that.
My big question is, if there's all these frog legs going on here, what happened to the rest of the body?
You make a suit out of it.
Frog suit. And if you use that frog suit and you put it on, you jump very, very fast and very, very high, and also hard for bad guys to get you. So there you go.
You can swim very quickly.
That's what it was used for. That's right.
So then they hated some people. They hated Carlos. They hated Suja. They hated Otto, who's a vampire. They hated Marcel, who's a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
Gail fucking roasts Suja, and it's some of the meanest someone's been on Top Chef, I think, so far.
Yeah, she doesn't hold back.
Let's take a listen.
And it was a huge mistake.
We agreed with your peers in that it was one of our least favorite, but there were definitely parts of the dish that we enjoyed. There was a lot of good potato in there.
We'll leave it at that.
There's a lot of good potato in there.
Wow. You're a food and wine magazine editor, and the only thing you can say is there's a lot of good potato in there.
And it was nice because someone was already laughing when she said there was a lot of good potato in there, which is always a good sign when you say one, when you're like, you can tell someone is just like grasping at straws and someone is already laughing.
So I saw the B-roll footage of this episode, and that part is actually B-roll of Tom laughing somewhere else, because in the real version of the episode, he says bullshit like a bunch of times. And they couldn't let that stay in.
He's like, bullshit.
Which is why you notice how he's laughing in her face and she doesn't even call that out, because he didn't actually laugh. He just said bullshit. And then she said, no, there's a lot of good potato in there.
Also, who says that? The way to say that is the potatoes were good. Like, there's a lot of good potato in there.
A lot of good potato in there.
There was a lot of good potato in there.
Like you're trying to get a kid to eat dinner. Like,
hey, buddy,
you don't want some dinner? There's a lot of good potato in there.
A lot of potato in there, buddy.
It's there's a lot of it, and that's the good part, is that the quantity of the potato, not necessarily the quality or the quality of anything else around it, but the quantity is a good part.
Yeah, there's a lot of good potato in there.
There's a lot of good potato in there. People are going to leave hope people leave a review for this episode, and they say like, there's a lot of good joke in there.
Let's be honest, that's not going to happen. It's just going to be reviews that explain to us what snail trail means, which I'm very much looking forward to. Anyway, and I host this podcast, so I got to say that the frickin' woman who got her ass reamed got kicked off the show. And what is her name?
Suja, please pack your knives and go. Thank you. Well, going home.
I didn't give myself a fighting chance. I was not surprised that I was called in based on my performance. For me, it was a lot more of my own personal, confidence crisis.
Oh my God, so many hugs.
I feel like I've got a lot of big decisions to make about what I'm doing and where I'm going. I'm going to carry on cooking for sure. It's part of my journey. I know how to flambe now.
Wow. And you know what I'm realizing? Just purely based on her accent?
Yep.
There's a good chance that she is headed to a sewer right now. And when she says she doesn't know quite what she's going to do, it's like, well, do I want to use a staff? Do I want to use a nunchuck? Do I want to use sai?
Do I want to use a katana?
Yes. How am I going to fight crime?
Or do I want to use a microphone and a camera? Or do I want to use a hockey stick and a Jason mask?
Brian, he's
you did
talking
name it.
about April O'Neil, who fights crime through the news.
Yeah, and Casey Jones. So keep up.
Sujai goes home. You're gone too soon, Sujai. Your accent was very funny. Elon also was the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Elon won. That's our new catchphrase. He's the guy that won. And I think Tom points out, he was like, hey, Harold won the first one too. And Harold's like, yeah. So.
Yeah. And I mean, like, full transparency with the audience. I have not seen this season. I think the first season I saw was season 5. So I don't know who wins this season. I'm very excited to find out. I will tell you that if it turns out that he does win the whole thing, it means that this whole freaking competition is rigged and it's freaking fake. Yeah. And it was Tom is forcing it in one direction.
And that's a great band. That's the whole thing. Reeves, take us home. We're at 1 hour, 4 minutes. I can probably cut 4 minutes out of the Ninja Turtles talk that we're all gonna get rid of. So
God.
Take us home with the hosting.
Okay. Thanks everyone for putting us in your ears. We appreciate being there. And if you like the show, go on to your message boards and write that you liked it. God, I hate doing this so much. It's so hard. Why did Tom make me do it? Anyway, it was probably half of this can be cut, I think. So that probably bodes well for all of us. Write 5 stars and, tell us what you had for dinner and also tell us what snail trail means. And then also if there are any accents or things that we said that were offensive, go ahead and write that in the review and leave maybe however many stars you think are appropriate. So that's the end of the podcast. So we are going to pack up our knives and get out of here.
Bye.